5 workflow, we have started with the first one, that is get. So we have seen how to get the data from the source. We got the data here. So we got the table here. The table is available here. Yes, you can see we have got the data here. Now this is your Power Query editor. We have landed into Power Query editor. Please come to the Power Query editor. As I told, there will be two windows. When I place the cursor, there is two windows. One window is your Power BI desktop. As I told, the Power BI desktop, you cannot create any report as of now. After cleaning, loading only, we can create a report. So Power Query editor. On the top, of course, the same thing. Home, insert, that is tabs, ribbons and other things. But on the left hand side, you can see query. From now, you should call it as query, even though it's a table or a sheet. In Excel, we call it as a sheet. When you come for SQL or anything, we call it as a table. But as of now, when it comes to Power Query, we should call it as a query. So these are all queries. And like an Excel sheet, you have all the rows and columns available here. On the right hand side, there is an option available called as query settings. So one by one, we'll explore. What is one by one? We'll explore. If you have multiple queries, it will show you the multiple queries here. So we'll see one by one. First, what are we going to do here? We are going to do three important things here. Three important things. In query, Power Query, you have to see three things here. First one, what are we going to do is we are going to check whether my columns are green. Your column should be green. What is that green? I will explain. Especially you should say your columns are green, not red. Not red. What is that red? I will explain. What is that green? What is that red? I will explain. You will have three colors, green, gray and red. So it should be green, at least not red. If it is not green also, at least not red. No reds. There should not be any reds on your columns. I will explain what is that green and what is the red. Second one, heading. You have to check whether your heading is right. First one, you have to check whether your data is green. That's not red. Second thing, you have to check whether your heading is correct. Third one, you have to check your data type. Whether your data type is correct. So this is the three important things you have to check. This is mandatory. These three things are mandatory. You have to check this. So whether your data should be green, not red, and heading should be there, proper heading should be there, and data type should be there. Optional one, fourth thing, optional one. The optional one which you are going to check is remove the unwanted. Remove unwanted. Remove unwanted rows, columns or whatever. Either it can be a rows or it can be columns also. Unwanted rows and columns, because to make your data model very faster, unwanted rows and columns. For example, assume that I have employee table or I have customer table. So email IDs and address and other things are available which is not required for our reporting. So like that, unwanted columns can be removed. But that's an optional. That's optional. Even if you have the unwanted column also, no problem. But unfortunately, it may increase your file size and decrease your data model. So it may decrease it. That's better to remove that. But it's optional. But these three things you have to check. Green, not red. Heading should be correct. And data type should be correct. What is that green and what is that red? So when you come to Power Query, on column heading, on bottom of your column heading, you can see there is a column headings, a column 1, column 2, column 3. Below the column heading, you can see there is an bar appearing here. You can see a bar is penetrating in between. If you play, you can see there is a green color appearing. As of now, you can see two colors. One is green, another one is a gray. Sometimes you may get another color also. Three colors will be available here. Three colors will be available. One is already I have indicated green. Green is perfect. No problem at all. 100% clear. Your data is 100% clear. Perfect. You can use it. Second one, you will get gray. What is that gray? There is some problem in the data. But that problem can be solved very easily. We can solve it. We can solve that problem in Power Query itself. Sometimes you may get a red. Red is there is a problem, but that problem cannot be solved in Power Query. You have to solve it only in your source data. Or you can remove that red. Red can be removed or replaced. Instead of red, I can put some other value, but it cannot be solved. It cannot be solved. So if you want to solve it, you have to go to your source data. In Excel, where you will get that error when there is NA REF in some cells. You may get NA, you may get REF. In that case, you will get a red here. So if there is a red, either your source data, and sometimes your date is not in a date format, it is in a text format. In that case, you may get some problems. So red, green, gray, and red. So you should ensure that green, 100% it should be green. Sometimes it can be gray. Sometimes it can be gray. But I recommend always to be green. That's why I told you green. Within bracket I mentioned as not red. At least not red. Gray is sometimes allowed. Sometimes gray can be allowed. But I recommend green is always better. So we should check whether there is a green. Why there is a green? Why there is a gray? Green, of course, it's clear. Why there is a gray? I want to know why there is a gray. Just go here on that line and place the cursor exactly over that line. You have to place the cursor exactly over that line. When you place the cursor exactly over that line, it says 973 data are valid, no problem, clear, that is green. 0 error, red, no errors, no reds. 27 are empty, that is gray. So 27 gray are there. So you have to remove that gray and you have to make it as green. But 973 plus 27 put together, how many rows? 1000. But is there only 1000 rows available on my source data? That's why I asked you to check it. 3339. I have something more than 3000 rows. But why it is checking? Why it is showing only 973 plus 27? Only 1000 rows. But I have more than 3000 rows in my source data. But why it's showing only 1000? The reason is Power Query by default. You may have lakhs and millions and trillions of rows and columns. It will check only with the top 1000 rows. Assume you are manufacturing a product. If I check first 10 product, all the other products should be correct. That's the process of Power Query. But I want to check each and every product. Sometimes I may get a problem in the 1000th product or 1 lakh product. I may get a problem in 80,000 rows. So I may get some problem in the between rows or last rows also. You want to check the entire data set. You are manufacturing thousands of products. First you are checking with only 100. It will be very faster. But if you are checking with all the 1000 and 1 lakh product, of course, it will be slower. Same like here. If you are checking, suppose I have 10 lakh rows, I want to check all the 10 lakh rows, it will be little bit slower. But how do we check the 10 lakh rows? That's very simple. On the bottom, you can see there is an option available here. When you go to the status bar on the bottom, 25 columns and 9 plus rows, and on the right hand side here, there is an option. Column proofing is based on top 1000 rows. By default, it will check the column quality only for the first 1000 rows. Only for the column, when you load, it will load all the data. Loading all the data, it will get loaded, but it will check the column quality only for the first 1000 rows. But I want to check for the entire data set. So you have to click here. Just to make a click on this, there is an option available. Column proofing based on entire data set. I may get a problem in 3000 rows. I may get a problem in 10,000 rows. So I want to check the entire data set. So click on this entire data set. Column proofing based on the entire data set. Now if I go here and place the cursor over there. Now on the green line, when you place the cursor, yes. It shows 3242 data 96. So 3242 plus 96. One row is for heading. So now it checks with the entire data set. You have to decide based on your data set, which is better. If I select first 1000 rows, my entire data set will look like first 1000 rows. All my data set will be like 1000 rows. So I want to check only with the 1000 rows. You can go for the default one. But if you want to check with the entire data set, then go for this entire data set. Okay. So you have to decide for based on your data set.
So one doubt.
Because you may have 10 lakh rows, sir. If you select 10 lakh rows, it will slow down your system speed.
Which application it suits? Maybe which data?
Most of your data will be similar. First 1000 rows, my data will be always similar. First 1000 rows and other data set will be similar.
Anyway, by seeing this data, first 1000 numbers there is a error. So you have to check all the data.
No, if you solve this in first 1000 rows, it will get solved in the entire data set.
If I check in the 1000 also, other will be automatically.
Other if it's solve the error here, entire data set will get solved. 10 lakh rows, the data will be solved here.
The report will publish for
All the 10,000 rows. All the 10,000 rows. It is only for checking. As I told, I am manufacturing 10,000 products, but I check only the 1,000 products. First 1,000.
Then why the second option is there?
Suppose if sometimes there is a problem in 10,000 rows, better to check. I don't know.
But anyway, it
There may be, if the huge data set, there may be a problem in 1 lakh rows also. Sometimes, very rarely. But better, as he told, 1,000 is better. But sometimes if I face a problem, huge data set, I'm loading the global data from India and other countries. So I have more than 1 million, 1 trillion of rows. So I may get a problem in 2 lakh rows also. So better to check the entire data.
so anyway, if you are checking for 1,000 values, clear the error for all the data sets.
It will clear. But I want to know whether there is a green or gray. If first 1,000 row is green, I will check that entire data set is green. It will not show the green here. First 1,000 rows is green, so you will think that first 1,000 rows is green. So entire data set is green, you will load the data. But the problem is it may get an error in 10,000 rows. Then you have to come back again and you have to check this and check the entire data set. This is for column proofing, checking, not for clearing. This is for just to check whether there is a green or a gray. Either 1,000 or 10 lakh. So based on your data set, you have to decide. So you are the best person to decide how your data will be. My data will be similar to my first 1,000 rows, go for the first one. Or I want to check with the entire data set, go for the entire data set. But it will slow down your system speed. This doesn't make a very big difference because we have only 3,000 rows. Suppose I have 30 lakhs rows, then there will be a problem. It may take some time to check your data set. Okay? Right.
Excel, the 1 million rows, but in
But
PI, what is the limitation?
no limit, unlimited, no limitation. Million, billion, I have used the word many times. Million, billion, trillion, any number of those. No limit there. Okay. Right. Now I feel it's very tougher for me to place the cursor over here every time. Even I am feeling very tough here. Exactly, I have to place the cursor here. Instead, any option available to whenever I load it, I want to see whether there is a green, why there is a green, why there is a red. I want to see it straight away. I don't want to place the cursor every time. Because in this column, I may have 96 empty. But when I go to some other column, I may have 200, 300. For example, I think we have seen in some column, payment mode or something. Payment mode, when I place the cursor, and 747 empties. So every time I cannot place the cursor like this. I feel it's very tougher. Do you have any other easiest option? Yes. Go to the tab called as View. There is a tab called as View. Under the tab of View, Column Quality. There is a checkbox called as Column Quality. Column Quality. Just enable that column quality once. This will be applicable after this data. After whenever you load the data, this is automatically available from now. From now, it's available for all your data set. So select the column quality. Now you can see on bottom of every column, it shows how many percentage of data is valid, how many percentage of data is error, how many percentage of your data is empty. Okay.
And sir, what is this above checkbox? Show white space, because it was
White space, if you have some space in between, suppose in between central, I have some in between space, between the cells, unwanted space. Some people, instead of this space bar, they will use some other white space. Alt 255, when you press, when you download the data, there will be some extra space. So it will show you the extra space. We don't have anything here. Select it or not select it, or nothing will happen to this data set. Mono, there is one thing called as mono set, that is for your advanced editors. Yes. Have you placed the cursor in some other column? Just place the cursor outside some other column.
How to make inside powerful presentations. That will be also. How we make the dashboard? We had how to is ready, screenshot is ready. Okay, that now how to make that screenshot in more effective way to present it. नहीं है ना वो कितना फोन अभी नीचे इसलिए मेरे को आगे नहीं दिया सीएससी वाला तो आ जाता है 45 मिनट में सबसे बकवास सिस्टम है ये जनरल दिमाग से आया है ऐसा आप कर
Is not okay, but so whenever we are updating some changes in the Excel,
It will be cleaned. Next time it will be cleaned. We'll check. We'll add the data set. We'll get updated automatically.
So after uploading this Excel, it will be interlinked always.
You can even decide. You can change the link. You can edit the link. Modify the link. Okay. So when you place the cursor, instead of placing the cursor over here, I have gone to this view and I select this column quality. When I selected the column quality, now it shows the column quality in a percentage. But I like to see only in a numbers. So it's not required you have to place the cursor exactly over the screen. You can place the cursor anywhere else here. Anywhere else here. It shows me why there is a green, why there is a red, why there is a gray. Okay. And if you want to see furthermore other things, just for checking. For example, in a state column or in a city column, I want to know how many blanks are there, how many datas are there, how many empties. I want to check the entire thing. So you can see there is an option available in the same view tab. Column profile. Column profile. Column distribution, it will show some bars like this, but I recommend to go with column profile. So when I select, you have to select some column. Select some columns. And I go for column profile. Yes. It shows something here. It shows the column profile here. How many data are totally available. How many errors. How many empties. How many distinct. How many uniques. Unique is the heading. Heading is displayed only once. I think 47 distinct means 47 city names are available. And minimum maximum. What is that minimum maximum? Minimum doesn't matter with your data. Minimum is alphabetically which is first. Maximum is alphabetically which is last. Alphabetically Ahmedabad comes first. Alphabetically Varanasi comes last. But here you can see by data wise which is top. I think Bangalore is having more data. Next is Mysore. Next is Gwalior. So we have, this is based on your data. When you place the cursor, it will show you here. There are 88 rows available for Bangalore. There are 88 rows for Mysore also. 87 data for Gwalior. So just for checking our column quality. Just to check, you have to select some column and you have to go for view and I select the column profile. But remember, whatever you are selecting, it's global. not only for this data set, next data set also it will open, but every column this will open, it may take some time. I think this, I make this permanently open, this is okay. Column quality can be permanently selected, checked, that's okay. But I don't recommend you to select the column profile every time. It may slow down your system process speed, because every time this will get loaded. Whenever you select the column, this data will get loaded. It may slow down your system speed if you have more data. So I recommend whenever it's required, you check this. Whenever it's not required, uncheck this. So I'm unchecking it. But this is checked. Permanently this is checked. Fine. So we have checked why there is a green, why there is a gray, why there is a red. But on the right hand side, there is an option available called as query settings. It should be available. Knowingly, unknowingly, if you have closed it. That is our regular habit. Whenever a new menu open, we will never see it, we will close it first, correct? Whatever the menu open, we will immediately, our first activity is to close it. Unknowingly you have closed it, or knowingly you have closed it. How can I get it back? Go to the view tab. Under view tab, there is a query settings. If I select the query settings will come back. If you have closed it, I will tell you what is the purpose and what is the advantage of this. So I click on the query settings. By default, a 4-step was automatically added by Power Query. 4 steps is automatically added. Source, navigation, promoted the heading, change type, some steps. It has did some steps. By default, it has did some 3 or 4 steps based on your data set. Sometimes only 1 step, sometimes 2 steps, 3 steps, maximum 4 steps has been done by Power Query here. After this, whatever the step you are going to do, for example, I am going to clean up the data. I am going to remove this unwanted rows. I am going to make this wherever the payment method is pending, null, I want to replace it with some other value. So you are going to do some steps. Whatever the steps you are going to do after this, it will be stored here by step by step. Step by step, it will note all your steps. All your steps will be noted here. Could you tell me what is the purpose and what is the advantage of noting all your steps? What is the advantage or what is the purpose? If there is any correction, you can undo, you can redo the steps or you can modify the steps. Very good. Super. Which is available in any software, right? Word, Excel and PowerPoint also it's available, correct? Suppose I'll open Microsoft Excel. I don't want to disturb the source data. Let me open some other file. I opened an empty file and I'm doing some activity. So whatever I did, it is noted by Excel. But you are not able to see it physically. In Power Query, you are able to see it, but it's on the background. When you go to the save, in Excel, when you go to the save, after saving, you can see there is a button available, undo. When you click on the arrow mark of the undo, whatever the steps you have did, that is noted here, correct? You can see here, typing FGF in I18. So I have typed something in O15. I did some activities. So all your activities will be noted here. As he has told, I don't want this activity, I can undo this activity. So whatever the steps you are doing, that will be noted here. Same like whatever the steps you are doing here, that will be noted by Power Query. But in Excel, could you tell me how long we can use this undo? Or until where we can use this undo? Last is saved. Are you sure? After saving, you cannot undo it. Correct. Someone has told. Close and open. Very good. After closing and opening, you cannot undo it. Correct. After saving, you can undo it. After saving also, you can undo it. No problem. That's available. But after closing, you cannot come here and undo. That's one disadvantage when you use Excel. But whereas Power Query, whatever the steps you are doing here, it's permanently stored for lifelong. Lifelong, it's permanently stored. You can check your history. Whatever the steps you did, you can check your history at any time in the world. Suppose I'm doing it today. 5 years later, I can open and I can check whatever the activity I did. It will be stored permanently. That's the next advantage of this applied steps. Okay. First step, as you told rightly, we can undo, we can redo, and the steps are available permanently. Third, you can check your history also. What is the other advantage? Any other advantage of noting all your steps here? All the applied steps? Any other advantages?
Days of
That means, suppose here I have a data till 30 December 2025. Suppose I am going to add a new data here. This January month I am going to add a new data. That data may have the same problem. You may have some empty rows, you may have some empty cells. Whatever the steps you have applied, it's automatically updated to your new data set also. No need for redoing it again and again. That's the next advantage of using this Power Query. In olden days, people write a macro for this, which is not required. Don't write a macro. It may slow down your system speed. Instead of it, if you do it only once in your lifetime for this data, it automatically applies for your new data also. That's the next advantage. Yes?
Can you repeat this?
I'm adding a new data here. For example, I have the data till 31st December. Now I'm adding the data of January. In January also, I may have some empty cells like this. I may have some empty rows. But I did already the applied steps, removed the empty rows, removed the empty cells. So all the removed empty rows, empty cells will be applied for your new data also. No need for redoing the same steps again and again. Because my entire data cell will look like that. Same data set. So no need for redoing it every time. If you did it only once in your lifetime, that's it. Next time what you have to do, you have to just load the data and leave it. Report will be automatically created. Just load the data and leave it. And there is an option available called a schedule refresh also. No need for refreshing it manually. There is an option of scheduling the refresh where it will schedule and it will refresh automatically also. Future what you have to do, you have to just add the data and leave it. Everything should be taken care by Power BI or Power Query. Okay? Done? So that's the process of this applied step. And a small warning is, whenever you are applying a step, always apply the step after the last step. Don't do it somewhere else in the middle. If you are doing it somewhere else in the middle, if the first and second step is connected, for example, I am doing some first step. After doing the first step, I am doing some second step. If both the steps are connected, it will collapse your entire data set. So please be careful. Whenever you are adding a step, please ensure that your cursor is at the last position. Don't do it somewhere else in the middle. Then your entire hierarchy will get collapsed. Okay?
It will be always change type or it will be changed?
No, it will be different. It will be different. Based on your data set. Based on what all the tools you are using, it may be changed. Sometimes you may get only source. Sometimes you may get source and navigation only. Based on your data set.
Unknowingly change the cursor.
It will throw an error. If I do some steps here, it will throw an error. Your data will get collapsed. Still, if you are saying okay, then there is a problem. It will say there is an error. Apply or undo. Apply or cancel. If you applied it, then you have to undo the steps and you have to redo it. I will tell you how to undo it. Okay? Clear? Power Query is giving a thing here that is there is a problem. It is giving some green gray. There is a problem. Will it give a solution for it? Yes, it will give you the solution. For example, when I place the cursor over, it shows there is a empty, there is a gray. 96 gray data are available here. And you can see it gives a suggestion also, remove empty. There is a small bulb image where it shows me a suggestion. You can remove that empty. You can remove that empty. But still, if you are not okay with the suggestion, can you give some other suggestion? Yes, there is a 3 dot available. It will give you some other suggestion also. Place the cursor, remove empty. If I click on this, the empty will get removed. Or there is a 3 dot. Under the 3 dot, there are furthermore other suggestion also available. Copy, keep duplicate, keep errors, remove duplicates, remove empty, remove errors, replace errors. Okay. But out of this, I don't suggest this remove empty. I don't, as I told, always it will not give you the right suggestion. You have to think, you have to analyze. But I am saying I don't recommend remove empty. Instead of this remove empty, my suggestion is home tab. Go to home tab. Remove rows. On the home tab, above the group of reduce rows, remove rows. On the remove rows, there is an option available, remove blank rows. Remove blank rows. Could you tell me what is the difference between that? There I found remove blank. Here I am seeing remove blank rows. What is the difference between remove blank and remove blank rows? Both are same? No. Then what is the difference?
The cells which are blank.
Hmm.
Remove the all the row data.
Entire rows will
If the entire row is blank, then it will get deleted. Super. What he said is perfectly correct. Remove blank rows means if the entire row is blank, delete it. Remove blank means sometimes a cell can be blank. For example, if I go for this payment mode, I can see a cell is blank here. There is a null. So this cell where is the blank, that will get deleted, which I don't recommend. So because I want this data, there is a null. The reason null is maybe I would have not received the payment is still pending, or I would have received the payment through some other mode, loan or a cash or some other mode. So that's why it's null. So don't remove this null. If the cell is null, don't remove it. If the entire row is null, then go for the delete. So I go for the second one, that is home tab, remove rows, remove blank rows. I suggest this method. Remove rows, remove blank rows. Yes. Now you can see the blank rows,
that method, na, the shortcut method
which I don't recommend.
What
Sometimes
will be these difficulties or error can pop up if we do that method?
it will not. That's the problem. It will not. That's why he said better to go for this. Now, we have removed the empty rows. Now I am getting more greens. Yes, perfect. So first process we did it. There are more greens. Entire data is turned into green here. And you can see on the right hand side, on the applied steps, there is a new step added here. Removed blank rows. There is a new step added here. Removed blank rows. But unknowingly you did the step. I don't want the step. I want to undo the step. Like Excel control Z, undoing. But unfortunately here we cannot use that shortcut key. Control Z will not work here. You cannot use Control Z. If you want to undo the step, what you have to do it, you have to go for this into mark. On the left hand side there is a into mark, check mark. If I click on it, that will undo the step. But the advantage of the Power Query is before undoing a step. For example, I did it. I send it to my colleagues or someone else did it, they are sending back to me. I want to know why they removed this blank rows. What is the reason? Or how was my data before removing the blank rows? After removing the blank rows, I want to check it. Very simple. Just go before the step. Before this step, just go there and make a click. Yes. My data looks like this before removing the blank rows. I click here. After removing the blank rows, my data looks like this. This is another advantage of Power Query, which we cannot do it in Excel. Undo means undo, that's all. You cannot check how was my data before this step, how was my data after this step. That you cannot check it. But in Power Query, we can do that. So I can check how was my data before doing a step, how was my data after doing a step. And even I can give some meaningful name for the step also. I can able to understand remove blank rows. It has removed the blank rows, but still some people, my team people, they may not understand. I want to give some other name for the step. Yes, make it as a practice. Always try to have some meaningful name for your step. Here, okay, but when you're writing the formulas and functions, you may get confused. So better to give some meaningful name. Right click, rename. Right click on the step, rename, and I'm giving some name. For example, deleted all the empty rows. For my understanding, I am giving some meaningful name. So please follow this suggestion. Always try to have some meaningful name for your steps. Make it as a practice, make it as a habit. It will be very useful in our upcoming sessions. Okay. We have made somewhat green. Now you have to tell me, can I load this data into Power BI? I asked you to check three things. One is green. Second one, heading. Red. There is no reds actually. Heading. Heading is correct or not? Can you check me whether the heading is right? My heading is not correct. Actually, which has to be your heading? This invoice number should be the heading of your table. Invoice date should be the heading of your table. Region should be the heading of your table. So unfortunately, so it's giving some other heading. So I have to bring this as my heading. I want to promote this as a heading. So two methods to do it. Two methods. Any one of this two method. Any one of the two method. First method. On the left hand side of my sheet, there is an arrow mark. Click on the arrow mark. There is an option available. Use first row as the header. So this row has to be the header of my table. Method number 1. Method number 2. Go to the home tab. Under home tab, there is an option. Use first row as the header. Do any one of this. Don't do both. Don't do both. Don't do both. Both, if I do it twice, what will happen is this will turn into heading, and this is second row. This will become a heading of your table, which is not the right one. Do any one of this. Any one of the step. Either go to home tab and click on use first row as the header, or click on the arrow mark, use first row as the header. So I want to promote this first row as the header, and you will notice two steps will happen. You are going to explain me what is the two steps. One is I am promoting the header, okay. Another one, you will get one more step applicable here. You have to tell me what is the step happened here after this. So let me do that. I'll click on I always recommend to go with the menus. I normally go with the menus. If you want to go with this option, that's your wish. But my practice is I always go with the menus. So maybe the tabs, home tab, use first row as the header. Yes, the heading has been promoted here, but two drastic changes happened. One change, I know that the heading was promoted. Another change, another very big change has happened. Change type. What is this change type? I can see two steps. One is promoted the header, perfect. One more option is available, change type. What this change type has did? Any idea? It has did something. Promoted heading, that is what we did it actually. We have promoted the heading, but it has applied one step automatically. Changed the type, what it has done, did here. I want to know what it has did. It has made a very big change here.
Converted it to a table.
Converted means?
Now the data has become a table. Earlier it was just simple.
Earlier also it was a table.
In the Excel.
It is now become table because header is changed. Maybe because of this change type is coming.
Expecting some other.
It has all become
Date format, number format.
I told you three things has to be checked. First one is green, second one is heading, third one is data type. This is the power of the Power Query. It has scanned through your entire column and checked what is the data type of this column. This column is holding only the numbers. So the data type of this column is a number. And this entire column is having a date. Your data type is date. Calendar is appearing. That means it's a date. And ABC is appearing. That means it's a text. It should be a proper data type. If it is not a proper data type, you cannot create a report. You cannot create yearly, monthly, weekly report. You cannot sum up something. You cannot find the average of something if it is not in a number format. So it has to be converted into a proper data type. Power Query has automatically converted into a proper data type. Not 100%, 90%. 90% Power Query will convert your data into a proper data type. 90%. Sometimes, very rarely, Power Query is not converting. Please check your column, all the columns, whether it has converted properly here. I think it is converted properly here. All this column, wherever we have numbers, I can see 1, 2, 3. Wherever we have text, I can see ABC. Wherever there is a date, I can see its a calendar image is appearing. 90% it will convert. But sometimes, very rarely, if Power Query is not converting, we'll see today. Today we'll see when it will not convert. If Power Query is not converting, we can give second opportunity to Power Query now. We have converted, okay, but if it is not converting, sometimes it's not converting. For example, assume this invoice date was not converted into a date type. It is in a text type. I want to convert it now. So you can give second chance to Power Query. Go to the transform tab. Under transform tab, there is an option available. Detect the data type now. Now you detect it. Since you already detected, you didn't find it properly. Now I will give you one more chance to detect it. Detect the data type. Maybe not now, it's not required. Maybe in our upcoming session today or tomorrow we are going to use this detect data type. Still, first it is automatically converting. Second, I'm giving a second chance to convert. Third, still Power Query is not converting. Then we can step in. I am stepping in. I want to change it to my own data type. Third method. For example, this invoice number, I don't want it in a number. I want to convert it as a text. So you can click here. Instead of 1, 2, 3, I make a click here. Manually, I can click here and change it to your own data type also. Third method. First Power Query will convert. Second Power Query is not converting. We'll give a second chance. Detect it. Third, we are manually doing it. All this we'll do it one by one in our upcoming. Today or tomorrow we'll do that. But first thing itself, it has converted into proper data type. No problem here. So don't use the second and third one. Now it's not required. Now it is not required. Okay? Clear?
So one more doubt.
Ah.
So sometimes the invoice numbers start with alphabet. Sometimes it's
It will treat it as a text only.
text.
Mixture of alphabets and number, it will be treated as a text.
So this is the I was talking about, the ones who are getting shuffled.
Ah, correct. You have to convert it to proper date format.
I was converting in Excel and reloading it.
You know, Excel will not load it properly. We'll see how to convert a date into proper format. We have a task today. Okay. Can I load it now? Is my data clear? Are you sure? My data, all the three are done. All the three are done. I told you one more thing optional. Remove the unwanted rows, and I think that's optional, but better to do that because your data set may increase. It will load your increase your file size. Better to remove the unwanted, but still three things is a problem here. There are some gray available on the right hand side. You can see column number 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Entire data itself it's gray. So better to remove this empty rows, empty columns. I want to remove this empty. There is no option called as removing empty columns. Empty rows, we have an option, remove empty rows. Empty columns, there is no option. So what I do is, people what normally they will do is they will right click and they will remove this row, remove. That row will get removed. But the problem is, if I remove the row, one step is added. I don't want the step, I will undo that step. But I don't recommend this. My recommendation is to remove the unwanted rows. As I told, sometimes the empty rows can be removed. Sometimes a row which is, sometimes a column which is having a data can be removed. As I told, customer name. I have customer address, customer email address, customer mobile number, which is not required in our reporting. I can remove the unwanted columns. So how do we remove the unwanted columns? I don't suggest this right click method. I suggest to go to Home tab. I will tell you what is the advantage in this. Home tab, there is an option available. Choose column. The wanted columns, uncheck the unwanted columns. I recommend this. I will tell you what is the advantage of using this. For example, I'll go to this Home tab and I go to this Choose Columns. Under Choose Columns, whatever the columns you want, you have to check that. It has to be selected. Remember, choose the columns to keep. If you want that column, you have to check it. If you don't want the column, uncheck it. For example, all this column I want. After net profit, I don't want column 20. I don't want column 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. These are all the columns which I don't want. So I'm unchecking that unwanted columns. But knowingly, unknowingly, why selecting multiple columns like this? Knowingly, unknowingly, assume that I have removed this net profit also. Unknowingly, I removed that net profit and I said, okay. Now, after loading, after coming to this or after loading to Power BI also, I'm checking that the data net profit is not available. Could you tell me how can I get it back?
That is the setting button is there, na?
In Power Query, watch for two things. One is left hand side. This is for Undoing the step, there is one more gear image, which is your settings. That's why I used this remove other. That's why I used this choose column. If you removed means the column will be removed. Undo means all the column will get back again. But I want only one column. That is net profit. I want other columns I don't want. So there is an option called as settings. This is a very, very, very powerful feature of settings. Today and tomorrow we are going to use many of this. So click on this settings. Yes. The same menu opens again. Now I want the net profit and say OK. So now I got this net profit here. Unfortunately, as of now, I have 19 columns. No other go. You have to check all the 19 columns. Anyway, I return to Microsoft. So if there is a problem in the column, bring the column to the first position or highlight the column or do something. I think they told they are working on it. As of now, no other go. You have to check all the 19 columns. Initially, for the lifetime, one time you have to check it. Okay, no other go. Right? Cleaned up. Can I load it again? Is my data clean? Can I load it?
Yes.
If I'm asking twice or thrice, that means there is some problem. That's why I'm asking again and again.
That is,
So payment mode is still slightly.
Payment mode. It's a gray.
how it can.
What is the payment mode column?
Only 80% is correct.
No, you can see there is a gray. That's why I tell you, no other go. You have to manually go and check. No other go. As I told, as of now, no other go. All the 19 columns, you have to check whether the green or gray is available on the top. No other go as of now. Maybe they told they are working on it. They will do something in the near future. I don't know what they will do. We'll see. As of now, you have to manually go there and check each and every column whether there is a gray. Yes, there is a gray in payment mode. You can see there is a problem here. Gray is okay. Even you can load it also, no problem. But while creating a report, there will be null. So I don't want a null. That's why I used that word. Green. That means not red. Not red is okay. Here gray is okay. No problem. We can load it also. No problem. But still, better to make it as a proper format. I don't like this gray. I want purely green. 100% green. So select this column. Select the column. Two methods to do this. Right click on the column. Right click on the column and go for replace values. Right click on the column, go to replace value, method number 1, method number 2, home tab, replace values. I always go with the tabs, but you can make a right click also, your wish. Select the column, right click on the column, replace values, method 1, method number 2, home tab, replace values. And remember, Power Query is case sensitive, small letter, capital letter. It has to be perfect. Small L is different, capital L is different. So you have to go to this replace value and null. Wherever we have null, 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 all are in small letters. You can see on your source, all are in small letters. So you have to type it in small letters only. And wherever it's null, for example, this payment I didn't receive. That's why they didn't give me any payment method. Assume this payment is still pending. I will put something like pending. Anything. But unfortunately, I have given a wrong spelling. Now I want to edit it. Tell me, how can I edit it again? Again, you can see there is an option called as settings. Click on that settings. So anytime you can edit it. The new version you will get something like ABC. I will explain it later. The older version you may not get this. I'll explain in the later part. What is this ABC?
So one more thing, like for example, now I received one of the payments, like all from all of it. So how can I replace one particular value?
It will get replaced. You will replace it there, no cash. It will get replaced here.
Excel itself.
If you receive the payment, how you receive the payment, cash, check, something you will type it there. It will get refreshed here.
Maybe it will be updated in SAP. Again, I will download that Excel and copy and paste it to that.
Two things as of now. But if you are able to connect it to SAP, no problem. Straight away it will appear here.
But for some other reason, I have to edit only one particular cell here. It's not.
Cell wise you cannot edit it here. Cell wise you can edit only in source. The power query is based on only column wise, not based on cell wise. Or you can use if condition. If the south region I have to do some other, north region I have to do some other, if condition can be used. Particular cell means you have to do it only in Excel. Okay. I hope my data is perfectly clear. But for my final checking, I will check one more time. Invoice number, invoice date, region, state, city, customer type, division, product, everything. Heading is correct. Data type is very important. Please check the data type. Net profit should have 1, 2, 3. Total cost should have 1, 2, 3. Discount should have 1, 2, 3. Logistic cost should have 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you may get 1.2 also. That means it's a decimal values. That's also no problem. If you have some decimal value, you will get 1.2. So please check all your data type and headings. Everything is perfect. Yes. But can I come back again? If I made a mistake, can I come back again? Yes, you can come back at any time. You can come back to Power Query at any time. Okay. So I have checked my data set. I think it's perfectly clear. Yes.
First step, column quality break sir.
Sir.
First from on the status bar view column quality.
View. I selected the column quality. It was shown. The payment more than it is shown. It is shown. It was there. Or you can go here and check before the steps. In the step after the step only what we did. Correct? The delete empty rows is the one which we did. Step click. So this was my original data. It was originally like this. If you check there is a gray. Where is payment mode? You can see there is a gray.
Gray, 22%.
It was gray. Replace values. Two methods to replace it. Select that column. You should have selected the column. Select the column. Go to Home tab. Replace value. There is an option called as replace value here. Or make a right click and go for replace value. Any one of the method. Then this dialog box will appear. Here you have to type it. Null. If there is a null.
Now there is a one problem or understanding.
I replace the null with a pending. Payment mode. Yes, sir. You are asking something.
I am telling that there is no option called undo. If I cancel it, then again I have to put the logic.
Redo. There is no option of redoing. Undo is possible. Redo is not possible.
Undo is possible. Redo is not.
Redo, you have to redo it again. You cannot use redo.
You are replacing with numbers or any symbol, whatever it is.
If the column is in a text, you can replace it with the text. If a column is a number, replace it with a number. Wherever the total amount is null, I can replace it with 0. But in total amount, you cannot replace with pending. Text can be replaced, number can be. Otherwise, it will throw error. It will throw error.
Now coming to that null small letter and all, but it to come automatically. Null word was not there in that.
Sometimes I would have typed NULL in capital also. So then there may be a problem.
But this null to come automatically.
The cell is empty, it will show you null.
Suppose pending instead of null type also null.
Null, it will be null text. That is not empty. That is data. Gray or no gray. It shows that data is filled with some value. There is no gray. Null or value fill. Ab gray way or no gray is there.
Sir, this gray should always be 0 or even 50-50 is acceptable.
That's what I told. It can be accepted. It's okay. Not red. My mention is it should not be red. If a gray is available, okay. But when you create a report, there will be a blank. You will get confused. That's why I'm replacing with some other meaningful word. It can be gray also, no problem. You can load it. Still, you can load it.
Even at the 50 green and 50 gray also.
You can load it, no problem. But while creating a report, we'll get confused. What is this gray? Why there is a gray? Null. It will show some here. Null 50 when you create a report. Instead of that, I'm giving some meaningful name. That's all. It can be empty also.
Sir, I have a data wherein a customer name. So there are some
text called NA, and somewhere it is only star is there.
Star.
Star. Symbol star is there. The same column. NA is also there, star is also there.
Twice. You have to replace twice.
Twice I have to do it.
Because one is you have to, star has to be replaced with some other. Something has to be replaced. You have to do twice. Like how do you do it? Find and replace twice in Excel. You have to do twice here. No other go. Right. So I'm going to load this data into Power BI. I think we have completed the second workflow. Out of the 5 workflow, we have completed get. Get is done. Transform is also now done. I think my data is green. Heading is perfect. Data type is correct. Now I'm going to load this. As I told, anytime you can come back to Power Query. Anytime you can come back. We'll see how to come back again. So if you are 100% sure you are cleaned up and you are going to load it, straight away you can click on this close and apply on the top. Straight away you can click on close and apply. But still you are not sure. I have to do some other activity. Still there are some activity to be done. I am going to do it later. In that case, click here and just click on only apply. Only apply. Don't load it. Just apply and wait. I will do some changes. Then I will load it later. Close means whatever the steps you did, don't save it. Without saving, apply, load it to Power BI. Whatever the steps you did. It's like closing the file without saving in Excel. I don't recommend this. I don't recommend closing. Either you can go for apply. Apply means just save it and have it. We can load it later. But I think I did everything. So close and apply is better. Or straight away you can click on the top of the close and apply. Because the first one is default. When I click on the top one, the first default close and apply will be applied here. So let me click on close and apply. And after closing and apply, please wait. It may go give some message. Pending changes, discard changes. Don't do anything. Please wait. Wait for a few seconds. So when I click on this close and apply, and it's loading to my Power BI. So let me open the Power BI now. Before the break, I minimized it. So I'm opening it again. Yeah. There will be something like applied changes or discard changes. Please wait. Don't go here and click on apply. Don't click on discard. Please wait for a few more minutes. Few more seconds. It will get loaded here. Yes, the invoice performance is my table which is getting loaded. First time, yes.
Generally, in Excel, save the file and do Control S to ensure the data is saved. But in both the files, like untitled.
No. Apply. Apply is getting saved.
Apply this.
But it will be untitled. Now only one name. In Power Query, we cannot give a name. In Power BI, we can give a name. After loading the data, we can give a name. Apply is temporarily saved. Apply. Now you can give a name. That's what we will.
Power Query, we do at the stage of 6. If I do in desktop, the power went in off means it will go, right?
But if you applied it, it will be there.
Okay.
If you applied it,
Okay, we need to apply. Instead of saving it apply.
then you can recover it.
So after applying close, is it possible to change in again the query?
That's what we can do. We can go back. Next step, we'll do that. Now we have closed and applied. Now we have landed into Power BI. Where is the data? You can see on the right hand side, data. Invoice performance is my sheet name. Expand it just by clicking on the arrow mark. There is an arrow mark available. Just click on that arrow, maybe that greater than symbol. So click on that greater than or less than symbol. You can see all your columns will be displayed here. Fortunately, unfortunately, all the columns are arranged in a alphabetical order. It can be in a different order on your source data. On the source data, first column is invoice number, second column is invoice date. But here you can see the first column is amount. It's in alphabetical order. Amount it comes first and city is second, cost center is third. So it's in alphabetical order. And you can notice here where on the column left hand side, amount left hand side, there is a sigma. That means the data type of this column is a number. And whenever you see a calendar image, that means this column data type is a date. And whenever you see some empty, that means this column data type is a text. But if it is not showing rightly here, suppose I'm not getting the sigma on the left hand side of amount. I'm not getting this calendar image on this invoice date. No other go. You have to go back to Power Query and you have to detect the data type. The data type should be correct in Power Query. So how can I go back to Power Query again? Two methods to go back to the Power Query. Method number 1, Home tab. On Power BI, you can see Home tab. There is a button called as Transform Data. Method number 1. So either click on the transform data straight away, or you can see there is a arrow mark available under the transform. There you can see transform data. Both are same. Either click on the transform data straight away, or you can click on transform. But the problem is, if I click on transform data, it goes to Power Query. Here, fortunately, I have only one table, so no problem. Suppose assume I have some 20 tables. Out of the 20 tables, I want to change only the table number 5. So you have to come to Power Query and you have to select that particular table number 5 here. So we have one more method. After coming to Power Query, now how can I go back to Power BI? Once again, same close and apply. Or you can now straight away click on this close also, no problem, on the top, because already we have closed and applied it. Now I can click on close. Second method to go to Power Query is, one is you can go to transform data. Challenge, sir? Second method is right click on that particular table. There is an option called as edit query. I recommend this if you have multiple data sources. As I told, I have 20 tables. I want to modify only the table number 5. So table number 5, you can make a right click and go to edit query. So it straight away lands into the table number 5, so that you can modify in the table number 5. So this is second method. Since we have only one table here, both the methods are okay as of now. But multiple tables, I recommend go with this right click and go with this edit query. So it goes to the Power Query editor. So whatever the changes, all the changes, as I told, all the changes, whatever you did, it's stored here permanently, lifelong. It will be there permanently, lifelong. As he has told, we are working on this file for a very long time. Unfortunately, we didn't save this. So let us save this file. When you are saving this file for very first time, I recommend to go with save as, because the save is not activated here. Save as first time. So I'll recommend, or you can click on the save button on the top also. Save as, browse, save it in any location as per your wish. Let me use the same name which I given it for Excel itself, so that I can understand this data is from this data source. I have given the same name for my understanding. 01 transaction data. You can give any name, your wish. After this, no problem. Every 10 minutes, your file will get saved. I think you know it. In Excel also, we have this option, right? Every 10 minutes. You can change that cycle also. Not 10 minutes. We can make it as 20 minutes, 1 hour. So you can see the last saved is 11:50 a.m. today. Or you can go to File. Suppose I don't want this file to be saved every 10 minutes. My data set is too large. I want to save it every half an hour. File. Click on File. Options and Settings. File, Options and Settings. Options. File, Options and Settings. Options. Go to File, Options and Settings. Options. Under Option, a dialog box is opening where I can see there is an option called as Save and Recover, where we can see every 10 minutes that file will get saved. You can change your cycle also. I don't want every 10 minutes. I want every 5 minutes or every 20 minutes or half an hour.
Minutes only.
Yes. Why? What do you want?
Maybe hour and all. That's why I'm asking.
60 minutes.
That I got it.
Don't make it as 1 minute. Every 1 minute the file will get saved. You cannot do any activity. Save it there. You cannot do anything. So at least make it as 5 or 10 minutes minimum. Okay. Clear until this? So I think we did 3 things. Can you list out what are all the 3 things we did now out of the 5 workflow? Get, transform, load. Superb. Now, Every time I want to see my data means I have to go to Power Query. For example, you have to go to transform data and I have to see my data. Can I see the data inside B8? I don't want to go to every time go to Power Query. If the data is too large, it may take some time and it will rotate. So instead, can I check my data inside BI itself? Yes. On the left hand side, there is a button available here. Table view. So this one. So when I click on this one, I can check my table here itself. It's not required. Every time you have to go back to Power Query and check your data, you can check the data inside your BI itself. Okay. We'll see how to create some reports. Before that, we have to do some other activities. Let us click on the report view again. To come back, you can click on the report view here. And unfortunately, this report table view will be in a different order. Maybe same as your table. You can see invoice number first, invoice date second. So click on the report view. It comes back to the report view. Now, let me open my source data, original data. What are all the do's and don'ts to your source data? In your source data, don't change your column names. Don't change your column names. Invoice number, it should be invoice number. Invoice date, it should be invoice date. Don't change your column names. If you change the column name, then the Power Query, Power BI will get collapsed. So it will search for the invoice number column name. There is no invoice number. It may throw an error. So in that case, you have to reload it again. So we'll see how to reload it later. Don't change your column names. Can I insert a column? Half yes, half no. No, don't insert the column. In between. Very good. Insert the column only at the last. Last means actually this data to be opened, this data is not ending at yes. Actually, this data is ending at Y or Z. So after Z, you have to add the column. After Z. Why it's ending at Y column? I will tell you the reason why Excel is taking the data is still empty. Why it is taking the empty columns? I will explain that. I will explain. So if you want to add a column, add it at the last. Don't add it in the middle. Can I add a new data? Yes. Where can I add the new data? Suppose this data is available till the 31st December 2025. Now I want to add the January month data. Where can I add it?
Below.
After the heading anywhere. It's not required. You have to add it only at the last. You can add it in between also. No problem. No problem. A row you can add it at anywhere, any position after the heading. After the heading, anywhere you can add the rows. Right. We'll see how to add the rows and check.
And column we should add after.
Only that. Can I change my sheet name? No. Don't change your sheet name. It should be as it is. The sheet name is invoice performance. It should be invoice performance. Can I change my file name? Surprisingly, yes. You can change your file names. No problem, because file name is never appearing in my Power BI here. You cannot see your file name. It's only the sheet name. It's only the column name. File name is not available here. But if I change the file name, what will happen is the link will get removed because it will search for that file name called as transaction data. The file name is not available. It will throw an error. So if it is throwing error, we'll see how to handle it. Can I change the file name? Yes, we can change the file name. Can I change this path? For example, as of now, this file is residing in a particular path in my system. In D drive, in corporate training, in your company name, here is where this file is residing. Tomorrow, I want to change this file path. I want to put it in OneDrive or I want to put it in some other drive. So can I change the path? Yes, you can change the path. If you change the path, once again, that link will get removed. We'll see how to establish that link. Okay. So if the file name is changed, if the path name is changed, so how can I re-establish the link? First, we'll see that. Go to Power BI. Go to Power BI. Under Power BI, you can see the transform data. Go to the transform data. Under transform data, data source settings. Go to home tab. Go to transform data, data source settings. I think this you will be using frequently. Sometimes you will have a password protected. Sometimes your location will be in different. Your IT team will ask you to put a new location, new path. They may change your drives. In that case, you have to do this. Yes. Go to transform data, data source settings. Suppose assume it has changed. Now it is residing in this particular location. Now I want to change it. So click on change source. The change source, it will show you the current file path. You can change browse and you can change your file path. Even you can make this file path more dynamic also. That is called as parameters. Maybe if time permits, we'll learn that later. So as of now, you can change your file path here. If you have changed your file path, if you have changed your file name. Okay. Right now. So if you change your file path and file name, you can come here and you can change your file path and file name. But if I want to add a new data, let me open that original Excel file. Don't open that zip file, open that original Excel file, which we have loaded here. Open that original Excel file. Let me go to the end, control end. Wantedly, I'm leaving some empty space. Wantedly. To check whether the empty space is getting deleted, because in Power Query I have applied some steps. If there is some empty rows, it has to be deleted. I want to check that. That's the reason I'm going to add a new data. Instead of adding a new data, just I will copy and paste, so it will save some time for me. Control C. I'm adding one new data here and I'm putting it at the last, maybe 3,350. I have left some, wantedly I left some empty rows and I'm adding some new data. Maybe I'll change this invoice number. Invoice number is 4242. Let me change the date. Maybe today's date. The invoice is for today's date. The shortcut key for getting today's date in Excel is control semicolon. Next to L, you can see there is a shortcut key called as control semicolon. When you press control semicolon, it will show you the current date. And let it be South region, let it be Karnataka, Mysore, everything. And but this one, payment method, I am deleting it. I make it as blank, delete it. To check if the payment method is blank, it has to be replaced with null. I want to check that whether it's working fine or not. That's it. So I added a new data here. I added a new data, copy and paste, and I added. Assume that today I got this data. I'm adding this data. Maybe at the last, I just uploaded the data here. In between, there are some empty rows and empty cells. I want to know how it's working. So I'll save this file, and I'm going to close this file. It's always better to close the file. Save it and close it. Now let us come back to Power Query. How can I check my data? Where do we check the data? Is it required every time I have to go to Power Query and check it? No, I don't want to go to Power Query every time. Table view. But how can I find my latest data? Where can I find my latest data here? I have to search the data, where it is available. I think 4242 or something, I entered today's date. I have to scroll down because this data may be having 3,000, 4,000, 3 million, 4 million rows. So I want to check whether my latest data is available there. No, it should not come. It should not come because we have did a query that all the empty has to be removed, all the empty has to be replaced with something. It should not show you green. It should not show you gray. It should have only green. I want to check that. How can I check? I want to bring the latest invoice number on the top so that I can know that whether my latest invoice number is available or not. So go to the invoice number here. Like how do we do it in Excel? Go to the filter icon on this on this column. Sort in descending, so that the latest invoice number will come to the top. Or even invoice date also, today's date in descending. The latest date will come to the top. So let me put it in descending order. Unfortunately, I am not getting it. 4241 is available. Unfortunately, I didn't get my new data here. Similar to Excel pivot table. Whenever you change your data source, your pivot table will not get updated. What has to be done here? Refresh. We'll see about schedule refresh by today evening or tomorrow. As of now, I'll go to Home tab. Under Home tab, next to the transform data, there is a button available called as refresh. Just click on that refresh and check whether your new data is updated. Yes, I got the new data. The blank rows was deleted automatically, and the payment mode, wherever it's gray, empty, it has turned into pending automatically here. Schema is your source after publishing.
So which is it?
Schema data.
Schema and data.
That is after publishing, I want only the schema should be refreshed, not the data. Only the report should be refreshed. Data should be as it is. We'll see. After publishing, we'll understand. Now you can see the new data is updated here, right? So after this, what you have to do it is just add your data and get refreshed. Schedule refresh, we'll explore it later. While doing refresh or while doing anything, please close that Excel file. Don't open that Excel. As I already told, it may throw some error. The source file has to be closed. It's a better, but not only here, everywhere. Whenever you're accessing data within two applications, it's better to close it. Otherwise, it may throw some error, read-only error or some other error. Okay. To check whether my data is updated, I did this. Actually, I will delete this data. To know that whether it's updating, because why I'm deleting it is while creating a report, we should not get confused. I will get a different value, you may get a different value. So this last updated data, I'm going to delete it. So let me open that file again. And I select this row and the entire row, I'm deleting this entire. So just for checking whether whenever I add the data, whether it's updating on my Power BI. So I added a new data and I checked, I think it's updating. So I'll delete this. Save it and close it. Save and close. Come to Power BI. Still my data is displayed here. So once again, what has to be done? Refresh. Yes. Yeah. We got only 4241 till 30 December 2025. Just to dummy data we have added and we have checked whether it's updating or not. Okay, we'll do some page changes if possible before the break. At least we'll try to create one or two visuals. We'll try. It's not required. We have to run fast and finish all the concept. We have to understand and we have to go on, right? That's my methodology. It's not like we have to finish all the things. You have to understand and we'll finish all the concept. Okay? Clear? Until this. Yes, sir. You want me to come over? Okay.
आंसर करेंगे तो वो पाथ याद करना है, वो पाथ याद करना है। उसके लिए रिव्यू करो, सब सही है। मैं थोड़ा क्लोज बनेगा। रिव्यू करो, जॉब स्टेटस बंद करो। मैंने वर्कशॉप में पेमेंट नहीं किया, गेट आउट कर दिया। मेरा आइडिया में रहता हूँ, बाकी ये काम मैं गुवाहाटी बड़ा हूँ। हाँ, जितना हो जॉब करी तो बात मेरा वक्त मतलब 300 ही गाड़ी है, सैटरडे संडे 300 गाड़ी पहले वर्कशॉप में स्टैंड पे वो आता है 2-3 जब भी लोग छोड़ देता है आया फॉर्म के लिए गेस्ट को सब्जेक्ट का तो है, अगर सब्जेक्ट आदि चेक
Okay. We have another 15 minutes. We'll try to create a visual. We'll try to create. Before that, I want to do some changes here. For example, maybe I want to put your company name, company logo on my page. In this page, I want to put the logo. Background, I want to make some changes on this page. Like this, you want to do this and arrange the page size. Do it before creating the report. Before, after creating the report, if you put a background, the entire thing may get collapsed. So before creating the report, do this. So I place the cursor on the empty area. Actually, it's empty, nothing is there. So I can place the cursor anywhere. And you can see on the visualization. This visualization should be there. Visualization. Below the visualization. Build visual. This is creating the visual. We'll do that in another few minutes. So let us go for format. So now you can see it is formatting your page. Later, after creating the visual, you will not get this format page. You will get format visual. That's why I'm asking you to do it now itself. So let us go to the format your report page. I click on the format your report page. There are few options available. We'll see one by one. Page information. So let me expand this page information. Three things. One is the page name. So what could be the name of this page? Page 1. Or you can rename this. It's not required you have to go here and rename it. You can rename it here itself. Like Excel, right click, rename, double click, rename. It's not required you have to go to format and give a name here. You can give a name here also, no problem. Just make a right click and rename it. Or double click and rename it. Or you can go here and rename it. So let me give a name for this page. This is my first page. Maybe I am giving a name as called as home page. So I have given a name called as home page. So this is going to be my first page on my reporting. Home. Allow use as a tool tip. Allow Q&A. Very, very, very powerful. Even I can say it's a magical feature in Power BI. Magical feature. So we cannot see it today. Probably tomorrow we'll see that. Before this, using this tool tip or Q&A, you should understand what is tool tip, what is Q&A. Then we'll do that. We should create some report, then we'll do that. So as of now, I'm not doing anything. I'm not switching off. Even if I switch off also, nothing will happen. So don't do anything here. I have given the name. And I collapse this page. That's all in page information. Canvas settings. Canvas is your size of the page. By default, all your page size. Worldwide, I think, worldwide it was standardized to 16:9. Worldwide. Even this TV screen is 16:9. My laptop screen is 16:9. Everything is in the worldwide. They have standardized it. Even if you open a PowerPoint presentation. Suppose I am going to give a PowerPoint presentation. The slides, it's also 16:9. Everything in the world is in 16:9 format. If you want to change it, you can change it. For example, I'll open a PowerPoint and I'll go to the design. Under design, you can see that slide size. It's by default 16:9. Okay, worldwide it was 16:9. They have standardized it. Or if you want to manually change it, you can go here and you can change your page size. 4:3, old pattern, square type, letter, tooltip, customized page size. You can arrange your page size here. But I recommend to go with 16:9 so that it will be unique throughout the world. Vertical alignment. It doesn't make any difference here. This will make a difference when you publish it. When you publish the report and sending to others, where your report should appear, whether on top of all the pages or center of all the middle of all the pages. Only two alignments, top and middle. Middle means all the, it doesn't make any difference here. After publishing, it will make a difference. So your wish. When I say middle, you can see the top margin will also appear on the top. You can see the top margin is also appearing. I always want the report to come on the top, not on the middle. So let us say top, canvas settings, canvas background. So let me click on the canvas background. Maybe a color. I want to give a background color for my page. So go to the color and I can give some color. But when I selected the color, unfortunately nothing is appearing. So canvas background, I selected the color, nothing is appearing. Reason is your transparency. Transparency is 100%. Reduce it. Less than 80 or 90%. Maybe 0 also. Yes. Now you can see a color. The background color. But remember, all your reports in Power BI was designed background as white. All the report, what a pie chart, line chart, column chart, whatever the chart you create, that will be designed, the background as white. But if you want this background, you have to switch off that background. I will tell you how to switch off that. If you need some background. Most of the people prefer the white as the background, but if you want to change, there is an option of changing. So this is background color, but I want to put your company logo or something on the background of the page. So there is an option called as image, browse. Suppose if you have your company photographs or your vehicle photographs or your company logo, anything. I will go with your company logo now. Yeah. I'll put your company logo, which is not fitting on my full screen. You can fit it on the full screen, stretch, or you can make it as filled. But normally, I believe you will not put the logo on the background. Normally, logo will be placed. Where will be placed? Top? Right. Top right. Okay, very good. So then we'll place our logo on the top right. So I don't recommend this. Most of the companies, they prefer to put a logo left, right, or somewhere else on the top, not this on the background. So I'm not doing this background. I remove this background, reset it to default. Reset it to default. This is canvas background, wallpaper. Wallpaper. Let me go to wallpaper, color, and I will give some other color. Similar to your canvas background. But could you tell me what is the difference between canvas background and wallpaper? Both are same. Actually, both are different. What is the difference between canvas background and wallpaper? Wallpaper is entire screen. Canvas background is within that margin. Within the margin, if you want a color or a background, then we can go for canvas background. Entire page, then we can go for wallpaper. But your wish, to show it on the screen. As of now, I go with white screen. Your wish, you can select some other screen. Your creativity. Okay, this is wallpaper, canvas, filter pane. What is that filter pane? You can see this filter button. I collapsed this filter button. This filter button can be visible after publishing. Even your end user can see this filter button. They can apply the also. We can give a permission for my end user to apply the filter. When you are giving a permission to apply the filter, what should be the color, what should be the font size and other things, that you can change it here. Filter pane, text and other things you can change it here. So this is only for the coloring and formatting of this filter pane. I am maintaining the same color. If you want to change, you can change it. Filter pane and filter card, both are same. This will be filter pane and filter card. This is only about the formatting of your filter. But as I indicated, now I will collapse this filter. I want to insert your company logo. And I want to put a title for it. And I want to bring your company font. I think you have specific font, right? It's not like Arial or it's not like Calibri or Times New Roman. You have some specific font which is not part of Microsoft. But we can bring your company font here, which we'll explore it maybe after the break because it takes some time. You have to create a template for it and you have to apply the template. But let us insert your company logo now. So go to the insert tab. Go to the insert tab. Under that insert tab, when you go to the insert tab, there is an option available image. Go to the insert tab, click on image. So I click on this image. Yes, you can see there is a image. Maybe in if you are using the older version, straight away you can browse, and I think who are all using February version, straight away they can browse and they can select a image. Who are all using the latest version, maybe October, November version, you have to manually select the image. Older version, it will, after inserting image, it will ask for the image, select the image and insert it. But the latest version, there is an advantage in the latest version. We'll see it in depth later. Now I inserted the image. Overall using the latest November version. Insert image. Right side, there is an option called as format image. Right side, there is a format image. Under format image, expand the style, image, upload image, browse. Even you can get a link of the image. You can dynamically change the image also. That's various advantage in the latest version. Old version, you can just select it and insert it. That's all. So go to image, style, image, upload your image, browse, and remember, you can insert the image and you can size the image. Nothing, other things cannot be done. Cropping, changing the colors, changing the format, then nothing can be done. You can insert the image and you can adjust the size of the image. That's all. So I'm inserting your company logo. Yes. And let us increase the height and width of this. Yes, I got the logo. Older version, straight away you can insert it. But latest version, I repeat the steps again for the latest version users. Insert image. And you will go to the right hand side. There is a tab, a contextual tab called as format image, style. So go to the style. Under the style, image, browse. Upload image has to be selected. I think it's by default selected. Browse and select that image. And I'm adjusting the height and width of this. Top, left or right? Where do you place the logo normally? Right side. So I'll place it on the right hand side here. Okay. So picture, since it's a logo, it's very easy. We can insert at the picture. But the challenge is, after this, we are going to insert some visuals, maybe a line chart, bar chart, column chart, or anything. For example, let me go to the insert. I want to put a title for this report. We have to put a title. So go to the insert and there is an option called as text box. Go to the insert and go to the text box. So click insert and text box. A text box is inserted. On the text box, you can see there is an option font name and font sizes. Of course, font sizes, you can change. Font name also you can change. Unfortunately, when I select the font name, I believe your font name will not be displayed here. Correct? What is your font?
Corpus.
Corpus.
Yes.
You have something Daimler CS or Daimler CS or Corpus? Okay. So the Daimler CS, we have to bring it here. Unfortunately, it is not listed here. How do we get this? Then we have to create some visuals also. At least 2 or 3 visuals by today evening we have to create it and we have to publish it. So we are now stepping into our 4th process of reporting. So as of now, please save the file, because to bring your company font, it may take some time. At least I require 15 minutes to do that. You have to save the template. We have to bring your company font here. We'll see how to do that. So save your files. We'll go for a lunch break. After the lunch break, we'll see the next process. Try to come as soon as possible. We'll try to cover as much as possible. Okay? Honor. So I'm stopping the video recording just to remind